All right, y'all, welcome back to Guitars and Cars. Today we're working on a 2007 Nissan Xterra with a 4.0 liter six-cylinder. I drove it here after I bought it, and I parked it in my yard for about a month. Came out to start it today, and crank, no start. So, got the Autel out here and doing a diagnostic scan. Going through it, letting it scan through, and we're going to see if we can pinpoint what's happening. I'm thinking it's either a crank sensor or, worst case, maybe a fuel pump. But either way, got a lean condition on bank 2, which is kind of odd. But we're going to try to use this scanner, this Autel scanner I've got, to try to pinpoint the situation and get a better idea of what's happening. Okay, so here's what we came up with. 2 faults on the engine, transmission fault, ABS fault, IPDM, EDR fault, 4-wheel drive fault. Everything else is no pass. I mean, everything else is no fault, is pass no fault. So I checked the engine codes. It's the same thing I got with my other meter, my other scanner. So I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper and see if I can pull any other info that points somewhere specifically. Okay, so I've got several, actually all of these faults except, I think, engine and maybe IPDM. They all point to a CAN communication circuit. Oh, this one does too. So the CAN bus is what is like on newer vehicles. They started using a specific set of wiring to communicate between modules. When we started getting all these modules that were installed in vehicles, it's what they call the communication between all those modules. So, and I've got that on several of them, and it wouldn't read the VIN when I tried to read the VIN with this scanner. So, as opposed to what codes popped up, which were purge, which is probably, that's an old code, so that's probably active, or that's probably an actual issue. But the other one was lean P0174, which is lean on bank 1, fuel lean on bank 1. I'm thinking we probably have just a communication wiring issue on this thing. Hopefully it's not a module issue and it's just a wiring issue that's causing, possibly causing either a bad reading or no fuel delivery to the bank 2, which is the passenger side. So that's kind of a fun little challenge, I guess, to go in and try to figure out what's going on with the wiring on this. I mean, it did sit for a little while, and, you know, it's been raining, so it's very possible some water got in somewhere. I'll just have to go through the connections and see what I can find, and hopefully it'll be simple. I mean, this thing was running great before, so I don't think it's going to be a big issue, so we'll see what happens. Okay, well, this is a weird one. I did get it to start and got it to run pretty good, enough to get it over into my, you know, shop area where I can work on it at least, so it's not out in the middle of the yard. But something strange I found here is that when I turn the AC on, I don't know if you heard that, but when I turn the AC on, the engine actually feels like it takes a load off of it with the AC on, as opposed to usually when you turn the AC on, there's more of a load. So I don't know why it runs better with the AC on. That's kind of a mystery. Still trying to figure out what in the heck could be causing these issues. Like it'll just kind of die randomly. And it'll kind of spit and sputter, and then it'll run better. I'm trying to pinpoint and see if I can find exactly which system is being affected. I don't know if it's the fuel or if it's the injectors, or, you know, something electrical that's going on. So if anyone out there has any thoughts or ideas, I'm all ears, because this one, P0507, what was that? I can't remember. Don't let me open this. P0507 was a, I just looked it up, I forgot what it was. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna try to dig a little deeper on this, but yeah, if anybody has any ideas, feel free to give me a shout and let me know. what you think, because I'm a little stumped here right now. Hopefully I figure it out, but thanks for watching. Shoot me a message if you have any ideas, and see you next time when I figure it out, hopefully. Well, so far cleaned up the throttle body. Notice there's some pretty nasty vacuum lines here. This one's just completely ripped and pulling off. So I'm gonna run over to the store and get some new lines for that. Don't know that that's gonna fix our problem, but it certainly can't hurt. Got a lot of little actuators and sensors and stuff here that could potentially cause an issue. So I'm just gonna have to kind of go through and see what's what, make sure everything's working. Okay, vacuum lines replaced. Started up, ran great for a few minutes. Just intermittently will shut off, read the code, comes up with P0340, cam position sensor, circuit bank 1. The ISC system is still there, but I'm gonna ignore that for now, pretend that's not there. So anyway, we're down to maybe a cam position sensor, which I believe is on the back of the engine, on the passenger side, under the valve cover in the back. So I may go ahead and replace that. I think the vacuum lines helped a lot. It runs much better. So that was one problem. The next problem is this weird intermittent issue of shutting off, and very possible the cam position sensor will fix it, but before I do that, before I just go throwing parts at it anyway, it's very possible that, you know, cam position sensor code means it's the cam position sensor, but it's also possible that there's a bad connection, or, you know, who knows, maybe the sensor's dirty. It's hard telling. So there's always a possibility that just as throwing a sensor at it won't fix it. So I'm going to try to rule that out before I go and buy a sensor, but there's always a chance that, you know, it's just a sensor. They go bad sometimes and you just have to replace them. So we'll see.